Oh, mate, I got more Australia. This is Brisbane, okay, you guy. So, here we go. Still remains from the surf capital or something. So, I don't pretend to speak like Australian. Had to have my Crocodile Dundee-ish moment here. Sorry for wasting your time. This is Wastelands, a debut album by this Brisbane. Okay, this CD jewel case is too tight. Brisbane-based metal band that it seems this is the first album by the band, released 15th of February 2024, and I am happy to get this CD here early enough to make this review before, the CD gets out. So Still Remains is the name of the band or project, and Wastelands is the name of this album. Cover image is a little bit peculiar, but this is explained because the music is described as sci-fi metal of sorts. Here are some of the lyrics you can peek in, as well as recording information, band information, and what have you. And on the back side of this booklet of sorts, you will see what I suspect to be the band member, the sole member of this Brisbane-based activity. Now, since this is very new band and there is no Metal Archive site, let's go with this Bandcamp site for the backdrop while I guide you through this particular release with 6 songs and what have you. Now, technically speaking, this could be MCD. This is less than 27 minutes in total, so it's a little bit this and that. Whether you would count this as, say, more expensive side of things. That's up to you to decide what is expensive and what is not. Or whether you call it full album with just being a little bit short. Anyhow, this is a curious combination because on the other hand it has these furious, fast parts which just like modern death metal, on speed. Going to places, fast forward and all that stuff. But maybe it's actually, this kind of a speed of light spaceship that is doing the job rather than substances or craziness. And then you have these slower parts, sometimes rather mid-tempo-ish, where you just kind of sit back and listen to the wailing guitar solos going to places which is sometimes like, okay, am I listening to some kind of a prog death or just prog metal? Wherever it is, this is actually kind of like overlapping with some of the sub-genres here. Sometimes it feels like there's a little bit black metal in the mix. Then again, you're also thinking, is this more like melodic death metal? But for the sake of argument, we could just call it extreme metal. Extreme metal with sci-fi themes, or at the very least, some kind of a more melodic, modern take of death metal. Because this is mostly operating around death metal. I mean, whether we're talking about some of the riffs, whether we're talking about the rather growly vocals, we are still operating around death metal one way or another. It's just more like some of these ideas are more like seasoning around the whole cake, the layers, and that's where the magic happens. I mean, I find it fascinating that it's not really stuck in a single territory, with fences and all that stuff, but more like, okay, let it seep outside the box, let it leak outside the grounds and what have you. But I still feel like this is, in a couple of ways, a little bit demo-ish, which is then again very common with debut albums, especially which are not, made with big lineups with, legendary musicians and all. I'm saying this because sometimes, of course, when you have a certain kind of a supergroup, sometimes everything is like click, click, click. It's almost like an industry-made band where things are really thought of before, you even have the debut albums out. But with more like typical, say, one-man project or smaller, less-known individuals creating a new band or whatever, things tend to be a little bit demo-ish in the mix. Somehow this is, for example, resonating through the production. Don't get me wrong, this is actually pretty good. But when you really pay attention to details, you kind of figure out maybe this is not exactly Morris sound where this album has been recorded. I mean, you kind of feel that somewhat organic, or some would say lack of budget, which is really a little bit out there. It's almost like it's a little bit like we ran out of budget. We still had to do it. I'm not saying the production sounds bad or anything like that, but it's more like it could be more tighter. It could be more powerful. It could be punchier. Now it's quite all right, to be honest. But yeah, but this is always matter of interpretation, matter of taste, matter of preferences also. Now, when it comes to the songwriting, this is like almost there, but no cigar this time. Meaning, I like the general idea. I like some of the riffs. I like that there is this variety, with the tempos and all, and it's definitely going to different places with some of the songwriting parts. But also, it's like, where are the hit songs? Where are the parts I feel the magic happening, when you get goosebumps and when you're like, okay, I really want to tell everybody and even their dead aunts about this album. Like, this doesn't have the parts, not the melodies, not the guitar solos, not individual riffs, not certain chorus patterns, places, whatever, where you're like, this is really, really where the magic happens. But then again, only quite a low percent of albums actually have that going on. So sometimes the area between greatness and goodiness is a little bit vague. I mean, it can be a mile wide, but still. Anyway, this is me just rambling on. If you want to listen to this new band, Wastelands, Stellar Remains and Wastelands, it's of course out there on the 15th of February 2024 on Bandcamp and then as physical products and all that stuff. And of course, I predict that by the time this video gets out, there is probably already Metal Archive site giving you the basic information and what have you. But for the time being, of course, you can get the music, you can listen to it here on the Bandcamp, I hope, or at least go to the label Gutter Prince Cabal and just get your physical copy for it. Of course, I hope you like it, but if not, don't blame me. Blame your pair of ears, that is. Alright, see you soon with more reviews coming your way. Take care and bye-bye.